Welcome to Universal Recycling Technologies End-of-Life Division. We're going to take a tour of our facility and show you exactly what we do here. So come along with me. This is a 140,000 square foot facility. We employ about 200 people and we operate 5 days a week, 24 hours a day. We're going to head over first to our receiving department, and that's where everything starts. So here, as the skids are coming off the truck, they're first visually inspected, they're weighed, and then we put a tag on each pallet. We place an ID on it, which is very specific to the customer, the date it was received, and the type of materials. So after everything's received, it's first put into storage. We have enough material for 3 or 4 days of processing. And in Wisconsin, you never know about the weather, so it's nice to have a little bit of a backlog. So we always have work for our employees to do. At some point in the next day or two, we'll be going over to our processing side, which will go next. So on this side of our process, we actually branch sort and serialize each and every unit coming through, similar to our asset division, but on this side with the specific customer requirement that we actually pull each individual unit out. So first the unit is weighed, the serial number is scanned, and that data is entered into our server network, and it's captured there permanently. So here at our end-of-life facility, our goal is to break down the units that we're processing as quickly and as efficiently as possible. We have some of the best employees in the world, and they process about 450 pounds per hour, day in and day out. So really, as you can see here, what they're doing is they're breaking down the devices into individual components. First removing the plastic casing, then removing the circuit boards and wire, and finally removing the CRT. So we'll come around to the other side here and look at the commodities that are being sorted. So on this side of our process line, this is strictly processed by weight. There's no branch sorting, there's no serialization tracking. So it's strictly bring it out of the box once it's been received and break it down to its original components. Over here you can see the inside components of a CRT containing monitor. The goal once the plastic is removed is to separate the tube, the circuit board, and the wires as efficiently as possible. As the CRTs are pulled out of the devices, they're fed up our conveyors and loaded onto this line here. And this line feeds is a system that URT developed to first separate the panel and funnel glass, or for most people, the leaded and the non-leaded glass. This unit's set up to process the CRT once every 5 seconds. So we processed a lot of CRTs each and every day. The system runs 24 hours a day, 5 days a week. So next we're going to go to our commodity sorting area. When all the displays and other devices are broken down into their individual components, they're fed on the conveyor line, and then they're sorted for light commodities. So we're sorting aluminums, we're sorting coppers, we're sorting high-grade boards, we're sorting plastics and glass. Here you can see the different commodities. You have AC adapters, steering coils, which are largely a copper-bearing material, CDs and floppy drives. We have fan assemblies, scrap aluminum, circuit boards, both high grade and low. Before CRT glass can be reused, it must be cleaned of its coatings, both graphite, iron oxide, and aluminum oxide. So first the tubs of glass are fed into a large hopper, which feeds our continuous feed cleaner. After about 30 minutes worth of processing, the glass comes out on our conveyors here. So the system is really set up to process about a ton of glass every 30 minutes. As the glass is clean, coatings are removed, and this glass now is ready to be remelted down into new CRTs. Primarily the glass is sold overseas for reuse because there are no CRTs being manufactured or really sold here in the U.S. The panel glass as well has a number of uses. Not only can be remelted into new panel glass for CRTs overseas, but it also can be used for abrasive glass media and other uses here in the States. So over here is our universal waste area, and here's where we're pulling out fluorescent lamps from LCDs. We're removing projection tubes, draining the oils from them so that material can be properly processed and disposed of. So over here are the projection lamps that we have. These all have to be removed and all the material separated before it can be properly recycled. And at URT, all the batteries are removed out of their units and they're sorted so they can be properly recycled. Over here we're processing flat screens. A lot of flat screens are exported overseas. At URT we break down all the components. Here are flat screens, LCDs. First target is to remove the fluorescent lamp inside and then separate out the metal components, whether they're aluminum, scrap steel, plastic off the screens, as well as the circuit board. With a facility the size of URT, we actually have our own maintenance crew working here 24 hours a day. Most of the design and fabrication is done by our own employees. So as we walk through the maintenance department, you can see we have enough steel and capabilities to build just about anything that we're going to use here at our facility. At URT, we're very concerned on long-term health and safety of our employees. So we take every precaution that we can to ensure that our employees are safe and secure. One unit here is basically a downdraft, so anybody that's entering our break area, it basically gets any of the dust removed off their uniforms. So the dust is blown off. It's actually recovered through a multi-stage HEPA filtration system, so the air can be recirculated and all the dust is captured. So that type of dust is not carried into our break room in our offices and doesn't expose our employees to any kind of concern. Yeah, because we are processing CRTs and it does contain lead within the glass, we have very high controls on our dust. The room here that the tubes are being processed and cleaned, there is a potential for leaded glass and a dust form. So we have a 40,000 CFM dust control system which ventilates through a HEPA efficiency filter before it's exhausted outside. We have a permit established by the state of Wisconsin, and so everything meets or exceeds the state requirements. Universal Recycling Technologies has been around since 2003. It was really a brand new startup operation. It started with one employee in Janesville, Wisconsin. From there, I guess we built a great mousetrap. We built a system to process cathode ray tubes and CRTs found in monitors and displays. And from there, it just really took off. It's almost like we built a better mousetrap and people started coming. Now, throughout our growth, we started running out of space in our original facility, and we were introduced to Ken Hendricks of Hendricks Development and ABC Supply. And we got to know the Hendricks family, and in the summer 2007, we actually became part of their family. Since that time, the Hendricks family has invested a lot of money in the growth of our business with acquisitions and technology. Today we have about 400 employees, 7 locations within the U.S., and we have 3 more online to be in operation. It's been a great relationship, and everyone at URT is very, very proud to be part of the Hendricks family. Well, thanks for taking a tour of Universal Recycling Technologies. I'm Jim Cornwell. If we can be of assistance in any ways, please feel free to contact us.